you've heard the story of Hans, but some of you haven't heard the story of Hans. And so I'm going to tell you a little story. It's about a little boy named Hans. Hans was a good little boy. He grew up in the Black Forest of Germany on black beans and rice, and he was used to hardships. Every single day he'd have to go to school. And he'd go 5 miles up hills both ways, 6 feet of snow. And he'd come home from school 5 miles uphill, 6 feet of snow, and he would always be so excited to see his dog. And he got home from school one day and his dog is dead, but that's okay because Hans was a good little boy. Grew up in the Black Forest of Germany on black beans and rice, and he was used to hardships. Hans decides, you know what? My dog is dead. My parents left years ago. There's nothing here for me. I'm going to leave. He gets his little bag, packs his stuff up, puts it on his little rucksack, and starts walking to the next town. He's walking, and there's still 6 feet of snow up hills both ways. And he gets to that next little town, and he goes and he sees a blacksmith, and he goes, oh, that sounds like a great job. I can become a blacksmith. He goes up to the blacksmith. Master blacksmith, please, master blacksmith, I have a question. I would love to be your apprentice. I would love to learn from you, and let me be what you are. Master blacksmith goes, you look like a strapping young lad. Let's see what you can do. All right, so I've got these billows, and you know what the billows are, those big air puffy things. And the big air puffy thing, and I need it to go into the fire. And it's nice and slow, so you just... And Hans goes, well, that doesn't look very hard at all. He goes, oh, I can do this. And the master blacksmith goes, okay, you're doing a great job. Just keep doing it. Hans is getting a little bit bored because, let's be honest, this is a very boring motion. So he goes, the fire's not very big. Let's go a little bit faster. A little bit more air in there, and the fire, and he's going down, poof! And the fire explodes, and it burns the entire right side of his body. But that's okay, because Hans was a good little boy, grew up in the Black Forest journey on black beans and rice, and he was used to hardships. Hans said, you know what? Maybe being a blacksmith isn't for him. Hans gathers up his backpack, his rucksack, throws it over his shoulder. He's kind of, it's a little painful. Maybe he'll move to this side. And so he's walking. He sees the next little town down the road. He goes to the next little town down the road. He goes, this looks like a nice little town. Maybe I can find something here. And he sees a lumbersmith. And he goes, oh, well, that doesn't look too hard. Maybe I can become a lumbersmith. And he goes up to the master lumbersmith. He goes, oh, master lumbersmith, please, I would love to learn under you. I'd love to become a lumbersmith. Can I please learn under you? He goes, well, you don't look too bad. You're a little bit rough, but maybe I can help you out. Because, okay, so we're going to be cutting these big old pieces of wood, and there's some horses outside, and they're running around, and they're causing this wheel to go, and it's sharp, and so you don't touch the wheel. And you go, vroom, and you cut the wood. It's not that hard. Hans goes, that's okay, I can do this. And so he takes this big piece of wood, and he goes, vroom, and it just cuts it right in half. Hans is like, oh my god, that's amazing. So Hans gets the next piece of wood, and goes, vroom. Hans is like, this is really cool. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this faster than anyone else has done it before. And he takes the next piece, vroom, and the next piece, vroom, and the next piece, and he cuts off his arm, but that's okay. Because Hans is a good little boy, grew up in the Black Forest, Germany on black beans and rice, he's used to hardships. Hans decided maybe this is not the place for him. So he gathers up his backpack, throws it over his shoulder, starts walking to the next little town. Gets to the next little town, and he sees a glass blower. Now, let's be honest, we've all seen glass blowers. It's not that hard of a job, right? That's what Hans thought. So Hans goes up to the master glass blower and goes, oh, master glass blower, I would love to learn from you. Please, oh please, let me learn from you. And the master glass blower goes, are you sure you can do it? I mean, you're missing an arm, and you're kind of burnt up on that side. Hans, I can do this. It's amazing. I can do this. It's amazing. So Hans goes up. Okay, we're gonna start very slightly, very slowly. We're gonna get a big old blob of glass on the end of this metal stick, and then it's hollow, so we're gonna, and look, there's a cup. And so the master glass blower shows him 2 or 3 times. Hans goes, I can do this. One thing we've learned about Hans is he doesn't really pay a bunch of attention. So Hans gets a big old glob of that, and it's hard to carry, and so the master glassmith has to help him move it because he's missing one arm. And he gets it on the pedestal, and he's getting ready, and he goes, because Hans wasn't paying attention. You don't suck it in, you blow it out. Hans burns his lungs. Oh, it hurts so much. Hans goes, you know what? Maybe this is not the job for me. Hans gathers up his stuff, throws it over his shoulder, and then he slowly walks to the next town because it's hard to breathe. He gets to the next little town. It's a port town. It's a beautiful, beautiful ocean. He's never seen the ocean before. And so he gets to the ocean, he goes, oh, there's a ship. Maybe that ship is going somewhere. I can help on the ship. I can clean the floors. I can scrub things. I can do whatever I need to do. There's ropes. I can pull the ropes. Oh, please, Captain, can I be on your ship? What are you doing? Get off my ship! And he kicks him off the ship. Hans is a little bit sad now. Hans is laying on the walkway, and he sees the ship, and he just wants to be on the ship so bad. He waits till the middle of the night. And he takes his little rucksack, and he throws it over his shoulder, and he sneaks onto the ship. and he's hiding down below, and he's hiding behind these big old boxes, and he's been 3 days, and the water's now moving, and they've left the port, and he's so sick, and he's getting a scurvy, because he hasn't eaten in 3 days, there's no fresh water. He has to get out from underneath in the little bottom area with the things, and it was just awful. So, middle of the night, he sneaks to the top. Very, very quietly. He was very quiet. He can't breathe very well. I mean, it's not like he can be really loud. And he gets to the top. Oh, that fresh air. Oh, he was so... And he sees a plate of food, a big table of food, and he runs over and he starts to eat it, and he's just... And then... What are you doing on my ship? And he hears this big old door bang open, and the captain's there, and Hans doesn't know what to do, and Hans starts running. And Hans is running, and the captain's running right behind him. And Hans is running, and the captain's running. And Hans sees this big, long metal pole, or the wooden pole, in the very middle of the ship, and it's got this fabric and these ropes on it. Hans goes, I can go up there, there's little pegs, and there's a thing at the top I can sit on. And it's hard to climb, because he's only got one arm. And he's climbing, and he gets to the top, and the captain's right behind him, and the captain's climbing, and Hans falls. But that's okay, because Hans was a good little boy. Grew up in Black Forest, Germany, on black beans and rice, and he was used to hardships. That's funny!
Maybe they didn't get it. Hard ships.
There is an alternate ending. Hans climbs up there, Hans falls, the captain goes, "Look, Ma, no Hans!"
Wow.